I'll take care of that pile today.
I got you, Miss Doug. You don't fret.
Good. Okay, Ava, just push the bottom thing in. It just pops out. Okay, so here is, I gotta zoom out just a little bit. There you go. So this graph says an evening in the life of your cell phone battery. So if your cell phone battery could talk, it would say, this is my life. Okay, so tell me, what does the y-axis represent? Battery percentage. Okay, so your battery percentage is percent over there. What's the x-axis represent? Time what? Since 4 p.m. Okay, so I want you to think about this. If dinner was at 7 p.m., what number would that be on the x-axis? It would be 3. Okay, because 4, which is where we start. We start at 4 p.m. plus the 3 is 7. Okay, so what we got happening? You get home from school. Let's say you get home from school at 4. What does it look like you did? Your phone is dead. Agree. What do you do?
Charge it.
How do you know?
Because it's going up.
It's going up.
Take it out and then you use it.
Okay, then you take it out. I'm thinking your mom says you must power that phone off from 7 to 8. Okay, what's going on when the phone is powered off?
Charging.
No.
Nothing. You're not using it.
Stay the same. I'm thinking that's that 90%. What happens from, that would be 8 o'clock p.m. What happens from 8 o'clock p.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. or 10 o'clock p.m.?
You use it.
You're using it. Right, you're using it, your battery's going down. Then what happens?
Charge it.
You plug it in again, and then what happens?
You take it. You pull the
Usually leave it on charger overnight. You're sleeping. You better be sleeping. It's like midnight. Okay? So, this is a weird function. It's a weird function. Is this a linear function? This goes back to chapter 3 also.
I don't remember.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh,
Ethan, why you got your hand on Tyler's desk?
Well, it's not his desk, it's the desk next to me.
Why?
As I was reading back.
Don't. I don't want to do that paperwork. If you fall. Okay, like Preston.
Twice.
Okay, so anyway, back to my question. Is this a linear graph?
No.
No. No, but no.
What does it look like if it is linear?
It's like a straight line.
It's gotta be a straight line. You guys, this is not one straight line. Okay? How many pieces of straight lines do we have here?
5.
2.
Cinco.
We have 5. You have 5. Like 2 is a little bit not right? Look, you got 1 here, this little guy right here, 3, 4, 5. 5 pieces of straight lines. Okay? So, what do you think the equation for this looks like?
Whoa, that's good.
It's messy is what it is. Let me show you.
There's a negative.
There's a negative in there. Thanks.
Wait.
Okay? There's the equation. So that's weird. So what happens when you have an equation like this is if there are 5 pieces, there have to be 5 little equations. And this guy tells you what x values you're working with. So from 0 to 3, this is the equation. From 3 to 4, it's 90. That's the equation. Okay? This is the equation. That's an ugly bit of business. Okay? We're going to talk about these guys today. Okay? You do not have to write one of these, so don't freak out on me, okay? It's going to be fine. I lost my pen, though. So write down on your paper, this is lesson 4.7. This is our last section in this chapter. I think I'm recording, so that's good. I think I pushed play. Okay. Okay. So this is something piecewise. So piece like a piece of pie. Piece, P-I-E-C-E, piecewise function. Ours, the ones that we use are not going to be as complicated as the one that I showed you. Okay? So it's called a piecewise function because it has pieces, right? That's just the way it is. So if there's two pieces on the graph, there's two pieces in the equation. So let me give you an example of one. So let's say we have 2x plus 1 if x is less than 2, and x minus 4 if x greater than or equal to 2. Okay, so I want you to write this down. Okay, I'm going to zoom back in so you can see it. And then let me explain to you what all this business means.
S? Or is it like a-
That's a squiggle.
How did you draw that?
Oh, so wiggle with your pen. Squiggle, squiggle.
Math teacher for a long time.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Is that a compliment or?
Dude, my dad had her apparently. What?
My mom had you. Who's your mom? Sarah McDonald.
McDonald.
Do you know my
I don't
dad?
remember. Who's your dad?
Greg.
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 Yep. I feel like I had Avery's stepdad. It's been, you guys have been around the block
Hey,
a
you
while.
know my dad?
Yeah, I had Abby's dad.
No one said my dad. Because he must know what was speaking.
Your dad's teachers are dead? Wait, did you also you have my uncle too, Jeremy.
Oh, yeah.
Jeremy's Williams Graham.
Okay,
I know my dad.
so
That guy too?
sorry for making. I know how old I am, Kylie. It's fine.
Birthday party.
Okay. So this is weird. What we're gonna be doing, we're gonna stop talking, right, Ethan? What we're gonna be doing is, do you know how we did function notation on the warm-up? We're gonna learn how to do function notation with piecewise functions. Okay? So these two inequalities, people freak out when they see the inequalities. These are important. These guys tell me when to use each piece. Okay, so let me give you some examples. This, you guys, this is light work. By the time when you get done with it, you're gonna be like, oh, this is easy. Okay? It looks confusing, but if you listen to the explanation, you're gonna be totally fine. So let's say I asked us to find f of 0. Okay? When you find f of 0, we know, first of all, that what's the x value we're gonna plug in? 0, because that's what it is. Okay, 0 is the 0. Now, this piece over here, people like to ignore them because they don't like inequalities, but this is important. This says x is less than 2. That's how I read that, right? X is less than 2. This says x is greater than or equal to 2. So, is this x value less than 2 or is it greater than 2? 0 is less than 2. Because it is less than 2, we're going to use the top equation to plug our 0 into. So we plug it in. It's 2 times 0 plus 1, which is, as Tyler said, 1. So it's still, when we did this on our warm-up, when we just had like f of 3 and I just gave you one equation, you plugged the x in. You're still plugging your x in. You just have to decide, are you using the top piece or are you using the bottom piece? Okay, so let me have you do f of 5. Okay, so don't say anything out loud. But if it's f of 5, what's our x value? Just not a hard question, it's 5. Okay, and you have to decide, is that going to go in the top equation or the bottom equation? The bottom. The bottom, because 5 is greater than 2. 5 is more than 2. That's what it says. If the x is greater than 2, use the bottom. That's why it says if. So this, when you read it, it's this equation if the x is greater than 2. X is greater than 2. So we would have 5 minus 4, which is also 1. That's okay. Okay. I want you to try f of 10. And what I would like you to do before you try it, I would like you to talk to the person sitting next to you and tell them if you're going to use the top or you're going to use the bottom.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it. Oh, yeah, we're definitely using the bottom.
Okay, top or bottom?
Bottom.
Okay. Why are we using the top one? Or the bottom one? Why are we using the bottom one?
Because 10 is bigger than 2.
Because 10 is bigger than 2. Okay, because 10 is bigger than 2, we're going to use the bottom. Okay, what is that?
6.
Okay, now, again, I want you to find f of 2. I want you to tell the person sitting next to you whether you're going to use the top or the bottom and why. Okay, question. Top or bottom?
Bottom.
Why?
Because it's greater than or equal. It's greater than or equal.
Because it's also equal to. So sometimes, and I understand why people think this, they're like, well, I have a choice because they both have a 2. Okay? But only one of them says equal to 2. So what is f of 2?
Negative 2.
It's negative 2. So we're plugging that 2 in for this x, and that is negative 2. Yes?
What if they both have like the equal to?
It can't. Great question. Yep. So they cannot both have an equal to because then it would not be a function. It would not pass the vertical line test.
And it would make sense.
So it would be a square.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So let's do another function here. I just don't want to keep using this one. It's boring. Yeah, change it up. It's a G now. Oh my goodness. Let's do 4x minus 7. Fortunately, I'm not judging you on your squiggle making.
What? Yeah.
It's Tyler.
Yikes. Yikes.
It does have to be.
I can't read his allegations anymore.
It's downstairs. I don't know, but it travels up through the walls. No, Chalaski's next door. It's the yearbook room downstairs. Yeah.
Tyler's distracting us with his skin.
Yeah,
You asked me to do this.
Yikes! Please find G of 1. Hey, please find G of 1.
Is it just one plus
No, you gotta do the 2 in there.
So it's 1 times -2.
And then plus 1. Yep. Okay, top or bottom?
Bottom.
Elton, why do I see the back of your head?
Uh,
Yep, please and thank you. Turn around. So here's the bottom because 1 is more than 0. And you guys put it in exactly the way it is, except you're replacing your x with your 1. Okay, if you struggle with order of operations, put this in your calculator exactly the way it is. You'll get the right answer. What is it? -1. Okay, let's do G of -4 for me, please. G of -4. Kim, did you find your paper?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Okay. Top or bottom? Top. What do you get?
-23.
See, that is a bigger number.
Okay, it's not.
That's a smaller.
It's smaller.
Like bigger on the negative scale.
Absolute value is larger. I'd like you to find G of 0 and G of 10, please. G of 0 and G of 10. Okay, G of 0, top or bottom? Top. Because it's equal to 0. What do you, it's 4 times 0 minus 7. What is that?
-7.
Okay, so while we're talking, when you have homework on this, which is tomorrow, welcome to high school. We have homework. You do need to show your work like this if you want all your credit. Okay, so you at least have to show me what you plug in and what it equals, just like this. G of 10, top or bottom? Bottom. Okay, so it's -2 times 10 plus 1. What is that?
-19.
Okay. Now let's make it a little bit more difficult. Oh, please.
This would be easy.
I don't like what the.
Just I got you.
That's a lot.
Just trust that I'm gonna.
I don't know about
This would be at least 4.
This.
Okay. Leave the door open.
Ethan, there's gibberish on the board.
Okay. I'd like you to find h of -10. At the moment.
Wait, what?
I don't even remember what it's about.
H's. Wait, it's -10?
Yeah, that's -10. H of -10. Why, Abby? Why? Agatha, top, middle, bottom. If it's -10.
Well, the top, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but right.
Don't worry about that right now. I haven't talked to you about it. Don't worry about the middle.
This is the one. I have a question.
Yes.
If I do this, does it make like my item? I don't think so. I don't know.
What?
No, it does not.
Wait, what is it?
I'm really glad you're. No, it does not. I'm really glad you're paying attention in my class. Top, middle, or bottom?
Top.
This is -10. It's the top. Because that's less than -3. So it's -10 plus 2. What is that? -8.
So I just wanted to say bottom.
Leave the door open, Tyler.
Okay, no, you don't. No, he does not have to. I left the door open for him. Okay, now, listen to me a second. When something is squared, okay, when something is squared, you multiply it times itself. So, pause a second. Let's say, what is 5 squared? 25, because that's 5 times 5. So when you see something squared, it just means multiply it times itself. So how about negative 10 squared? Okay. Why is it? Okay, stop. And stop talking. Listen to me, please. Why is it positive? Negative times a negative. Okay. So when you see something squared, don't freak out. It means multiply it by itself. Okay, so let me have you do h of 2.
Oh, it's not that. Oh, it's not that bad.
Is it the middle one?
Yep. I'll tell you why in just a second.
Alright, so we're gonna do, wait, so it's just 2 and 5 is 2.
What's a square?
That doesn't make sense.
Okay.
That's what I think.
So,
Then how-
folks, listen. This
Yes.
You know it. I don't know, it just like. I didn't know it.
okay, this inequality right here. This inequality right here. We did this in chapter 2. It's called a compound inequality, but it just means that x is between negative 3 and positive 3. Okay, that's all it means. So and I really like the way this inequality looks because it literally, the x is in between those numbers, right? You can look at it and the x is right in there. And so you go, oh, that's what that means. The x is in between those two numbers. So that means we're using the middle one if we're talking about h of 2. Okay, so that's 2 squared, which is 2 times 2, which is 4. Okay, once you do h of 1 for me. Preston and Kyler, h of 1. Bastion, turn around. Top, middle, or bottom on this? Middle. Okay, because 1 is between negative 3 and positive 3. Okay, so we're doing 1 squared, which is 1 times 1, which is? Okay. Now, let's talk about h of 5. Now, this is weird. This is weirder than x squared. Okay, it's not difficult, it's just weird. Okay, so top, middle, or bottom? Bottom. Nope. It's the bottom. It's the bottom. I'm just honestly concerned about that at the moment. It's the bottom. This is so easy because it just says if the x is larger than 3, what's the answer? It's 4. You don't have to do anything. There's no x. The answer is just 4. Those are nice, as long as you remember what they mean. Okay, so let me have you do h of negative 3, h of 12, and h of negative 5. Okay, you're doing 3 of those for me. And then we will move on from this. If you do that, you have to use parentheses around it.
So for the top numbers, is it like impossible for the answer to be positive?
Yeah, because the most you're going to plug in is negative 3, right?
Right.
Or not even negative 3. Yeah,
-4.
negative 3.1. Because you could do decimals. I just didn't give you decimals.
3.01.
Yep. Okay. So h of negative 3. H of negative 3 is that top, bottom, or middle? Middle. Because this is equal to negative 3. So this is the middle. What's the answer? Okay. So listen. If you use your calculator for this, you got to be smarter than your calculator, okay? So we know that something squared is it times itself. So negative 3 times negative 3, which is what? Positive 9. Watch what happens if you put it in your calculator. Okay, so, right, so let me show you why. So your calculator, if you do negative 3 squared, it's going to come back as negative 9. So let me ask you the question. Do you trust this because it's your calculator, or do you trust this because it's a negative times a negative? So here's what you have to do to get your calculator to give you the right answer. If you're squaring something that's negative, you have to put it in parentheses. Okay? Otherwise, it won't work. Why?
Because it says there's no parentheses around it, it's just -3 times.
Okay, so you're kind of on the right track. Your calculator follows order of operations. Your calculator follows order of operations. So it's going to do the exponent first. It's going to go, hey, this is 3 times 3, and then it's going to throw a negative in the front of it. That's why. Okay, if you do it this way, you're saying, I want you to multiply negative 3 times itself, which is positive 9. So either you have to remember to use parentheses, or you can calculate it in your head. Okay, how about h of 12? Top, bottom, or middle? Bottom. What's h of 12? Beautiful. H of negative 5, top, bottom, or middle? Top. Because that's negative 5 is less than negative 3. What is it? So it would be negative 5 plus 2, which is what? There you go. Okay. Hopefully, now that you they look scary, right? If you just saw this, you'd be like, what the heck? But it's not hard once you know how to do it. Now, here's what I'm going to say to you. You have an opportunity for a large amount of extra credit on your test. So what I'm going to teach you now is the extra credit on the test. Okay? A lot.
Like 100?
No.
Oh,
No, I'm talking like 8 out of 100, which is almost a full letter grade. Okay? That's a lot. So, and realize, you guys, if you know how to do the extra credit and you get a high score on the test, what does that do for your quizzes? Quiz grades goes up also.
Wow.
All right.
Graphing.
You don't have to read it out loud.
You don't have to read it out loud. Okay? So, you guys, I'm going to teach you how to graph these. It is not difficult, but it's a lot of writing the things down. Okay? So we're going to graph f of x equals x plus 2 if x is less than or equal to 1. And then we're going to graph 2x minus 4 if x is greater than 1. Okay. So again, this is extra credit. If you get done with this and you're like, no way, Jose, that's fine. But it's not super difficult. It's just a lot of steps. It's not hard. Okay. So first thing you're going to do is draw your X and Y axis, which I'm not even going to put in the steps. And give them some labels here. made 6. That should be good. Both directions. There you go. Okay, now, first thing that you're going to do is you're going to put a vertical dotted line, I spelled that wrong again, dotted line, where the graph splits. I ran out of room second hour and ran into problems. So let me ask you this question. If you look at the equation, where does it split? Like, this is not a trick question. Where does it split from one equation to the next?
In the middle, 0.
Okay. I didn't ask my question well. Okay. What number is, thank you. It's 1, right? Because at 1 is where I switch from one equation to the next equation in my piecewise function, right? Because that's what this says. If x is less than 1, if x is greater than 1, right? That's where we're splitting between one equation and the next. So we put a dotted line there. Okay. That is only there to help you remember what you've got going on. Okay. It's not really part of the graph. It's only there for our eyeballs to help us out. Okay. Now, the next step, we're going to graph these guys with tables. Okay. So we don't usually graph with tables. We usually graph with, y-intercept and all that, but it doesn't work like that for these. Okay. They're just different. So you can make a table, one table for each piece. Okay, so I'm gonna actually maybe make mine over here so I have room. So the top piece is x plus 2, and the bottom piece is 2x minus 4. And I'm gonna go an x and a y, and an x and a y. Just a little table. You don't need a lot of things. Okay, now, how many points do we need to graph a straight line? Nothing that starts with an S, Bastian, just 2. 2. We need 2 points to graph a straight line. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick 2 x's, okay? But we need to do this intelligently, okay? One of our x's, okay? I gotta think about the best way to say this, just a second. One of the x's must be the number in the equation. No. 1. Okay? Right? Because this is 1 and this is 1. So they each have to have that. That's not an option. So you only get choices in one thing here. Okay? It's 2 choices, but only one thing. Now, this is the part that is going to screw you up. So if you're going to pay attention right here. Okay? For x plus 2, that's the top. Okay, so let's look only at the top. Okay. What does it tell us has to be true about our x's? It should be less than or equal to 1. So what other x value could I use? 0. We're not going to put 0.1 in, Kim, because that's annoying. Okay, let's make it easy for us.
0.
0, -1, -2, any number that is less than 1. Okay, so I'm going to go -1 because I want to. Okay, now, if we look at the other one, what has to be true about our x's? Do more than 1. So for 2x minus 4, the x's have to be more than 1. So what are you going to pick?
2.
Okay. This is where people screw up. They don't pay attention to their table, and the x's that they pick. So you have to just make sure that when you pick x plus 2, you have to use 1. There's no choice. You have to use 1, and you have to pick a number that's less than 1. When you do this guy, you also have to pick the 1. We'll talk about why in just a second. And then you have to pick a number that's more than 1. Okay, now what you need to do is find the y values. Okay, so this second hour, they're like, I don't know how to do that. Okay, don't make life too hard. In this table, if x is 1, what is y?
3.
You got it. It's x plus 2. So 3. Braylon, question? Okay. If x is negative 1 for this table, what do you get?
1.
Positive 1. Okay. If you're not sure how we're getting that, we're taking this x and we're plugging it in. So it's x is 1 plus 2. That gives me 3. Over here, x is negative 1 plus 2. That gives me 1. Okay. Same thing here. In this equation, if x is 1, it's 2 times 1 minus 4. What is that? Negative 2. And if x is 2, 2 times 2 minus 4, you get 0.
0.
Okay. We are almost done. Okay, getting there. So the next step, this takes us back to chapter 2 also. You need to decide if the shared x value, which I'll explain in a second, is open or closed circle. Yep.
Oh, wait, I remember that.
Okay, so in x plus 2, I'll wait, you guys are still writing. Okay, in this equation, so top one only, or get rid of everything else. At 1, if I graph this, is it going to be an open circle or closed circle? How do you know? It's got the line underneath it. So I'm going to go right over here in that table, and I'm just going to put closed. Actually, I'm just going to put CL for closed. Maybe I can squeeze my closed in there. Closed. Okay. This guy at 1, because I have to have it, is it open or closed? This is open. So the reason that we have to put that, the reason that we have to use 1 here, even though it's not equal to 1, is we're going to graph a circle and we got to know where to put it. But it's an open circle. Okay. Now, plot each set of points and draw the line. Now, don't do this without me because I want you to listen to me. Okay, this is super important. This is why we have a dotted line on there. Okay, let's do this guy. Okay, so x, we're going to do the x plus 2. The first coordinate point is 1, 3. That's on the dotted line. It is a closed circle. The next coordinate point is negative 1, 1. Now, this is this super important part. This is why we got a dotted line. When you draw this, we go everything to the left of the dotted line. We do not cross the dotted line. Okay, because these are only, this graph, x plus 2, is only when our x's are less than negative 1. So we draw our line. And we're done with that guy. Okay, now this guy, his coordinate point is 1, negative 2. So that's open because it's open, right? It says it's open. I found that. The other one is 2, 0. Now, this line is numbers that are more than 1. So I'm going to be graphing him to the right. There's my piecewise function. Not connected. Sometimes they connect, sometimes they don't. Okay, that We'll practice a couple times tomorrow. It's again, if you're like, I don't know how to do it, there are partial credits on the extra credit on your test, so you can get partial credit. So the way that good question. It's only the one that's on the dotted line. You guys, Elton's question. If this guy is open here, should his other point be open? And it's a great question. It's only the dotted line that will ever be open. Okay, you can put yourself away. You can get your phones.